Hello everyone, welcome back to this array series in JavaScript. And today's question for the day is that we have to do union of two sorted arrays. If you talk of this is input A, this is input B, and if you notice the output, so we have to take the union. Union means all the elements of A and B uniquely should be present in the output. And make sure since you are given a sorted, then you have to print in sorted only. So if you see here 0, 1, okay, 1 already we have, so we won't take this. Then 2, then 3, 3 already taken. Now 4, 5, and then 8. So that's what the output we have. Okay, let's take up this question one by one. So, like method one by one. So, first method, very famous. If you talk of the sorting, unique, if you talk of unique elements, then one thing that comes in our mind is set. Very famous. Okay, so first we will implement this question using set. So we have two input elements A and then B. What we will do, we will take a set. We will take a set and this is, let's suppose, is your set. Okay. So we will loop through A. Let's take N1 is the length of this array and N2 is the length of this array. So first we will loop through this A and we'll put into the set. So now we have all the unique elements of A over here. Next what? Then we will loop through the B and we will put the into the set. So now we have all the unique elements of B also. So we have A and we have B here, but this set won't be in the sorted. So what we have to do after pushing the unique elements into the set, after that, what we have to do, we have to sort it. So this is the one thing, and that will be your output. Okay. So let's code it. Okay. So coding part, function and all name, I think it's very clear. So directly come to the inside of function. The for let I is equal to 0, I less than n1, I plus plus. So n1 is the length of the first array. Okay. Okay. Instead of looping through and one by one adding, we can do this directly, right? In the last class also we had discussed this. So how do we put directly? So inside the method we will declare a method set constant set s. Let's name as s is equal to new set. Okay. Directly we can do this a comma directly b. Okay, so if you remember this set all the elements of A and will directly be pushed into the set. Now what? Now we have a set S with all the elements of A and B. Now we have to apply sorting. Second step is sorting. So for sorting to apply on the set, we have to take these elements back into the array. How do we do this? So const array, we can write this way. So now we have all the elements into the variable. Now apply sorting array dot set, or like if you write complete method, then I can do it like this: a comma b, a minus b. Okay, now there is one more logic over here why we should not do this. Now this also will print in increasing order, this also will print in increasing order. Now we have to mention, like, this is a homework for you and you can mention the difference between these two in your comment. Okay, so this is, you have to, will be a homework for you. What is the difference between the why I'm writing this way, not this way? Okay, next. Sorting done. Now this will element will apply in sorting and then we will return this. So we have this output. Now this was your method A. If you talk of the time complexity. Now this is iteration. Iteration happening will be like n1 and then n2. So first the time complexity for pushing will be n1 plus n2. So this is your plus. We are applying sorting over here. Then sorting, takes log and n log n time. So this is your time complexity. Space complexity, yes, we are using a set. So space complexity will be n1 plus n2. Okay. So this was your method one using set. Now how do we optimize this? We'll optimize this method using the second method, that is two pointer theorem. Two-pointer theorem. Very easy to understand and very important. Two-pointer theorem. Okay. First understand this with example. 1, comma 2, comma 2, comma 3, 4. So this is your first input and this is 0, 1, 2, 8. This is your second input. We will take two variable. Okay. We will take two variable. First I and then j. In a single iteration, we'll will implement this. Benefit of this is that it performs this union in a single iteration. So we will start from here and we will compare this I and j elements. We will keep comparing these I and j elements. We will take a variable, okay, empty array, and since we have to put this in ascending order, so what we will do, we will compare this I and j, whichever will be smaller, we will push into the array. We will push into the array. Let's take, for example, here see 1 and 0. If you have 1 and 0, so 0 is smaller, then 0 will come here. Okay. And then after pushing into this, we will increase this. So next j will come over here. Okay. Next 1 and 1. 1 we have already there. So 1 and 1, since it is already there, we have to increase this to here. Since 1 is already there. Now 2, 2 and 1. We have to compare this I and j, 2 and 1. Which is smaller? 1 is smaller, but 1 is already there. This one is already there. That means what? We have to increase this again to here. Okay. And 2 and 2, 2 and 2 equal. Then we have to take, sorry, I missed this. 1 and 1. One second. Okay. First condition, let me write over here. Okay. If A of I is less than B of J. If A of I is less than B of J, like for example, if this was like whichever will be smaller, then we will push array dot push which is smaller, A of I. And then the one which is pushed, we have to increase also. And then over there, I'll do I plus plus. First step is clear. Second step, if the case is opposite, then we have to push J. We have to push J. Okay, and then we have to increase J also. Obviously, about that. Next, if the case come, third case, which I missed over here, if both elements are equal, if both like 1 and 1, if you have array of I equal to B of J, then what we have to do? We have to take any one of them. We have to take any one of them. Array dot push. You take any one of them. But if both are equal, then we have to increase both. We have to increase both I plus plus as well as J plus plus. Okay. Next, one more thing that we are missing over here. If both the elements are equal, just see over here, 2 and 2. In this case, what we will do? We can't take both the elements, right? Then in this case, we have to skip it. That means what? If if I is greater than 0, if I is greater than 0, that means loop has been started, and A of I equal to, let's take A of I plus 1. If A of I is equal to I plus 1, or I can write I minus 1, because suppose if it is here, okay, because we are looping this way. So if it was equal to previous element, then in this case we have to do I plus plus. Next, if j is greater than 0, same repetition, b of j equal to b of j minus 1, then we will increase this. So this way we have covered all the cases. Let's code it. Let's code it now. For first take the input elements, that array equals to input array, first loop, for like while I is less than n1 and j is less than n2. J is less than n2. First, if a of I is less than b of j, what we have to push? We have to array dot push a of I, sorry, and we have to increase this increment also. Next condition, if a of I greater than b of j, in this case, array dot push, we have to push whichever is smaller, array dot push b of j, and then we have to do the increment also. Next, if a of I equal to b of j, in this case you can push any one of them, array dot push a of I, and then you have to increase both the pointers. You have to increase both pointers. Next case, remember equal cases. If I is greater than 0 and if I is greater than 0 and a of I equal to a of I minus 1, okay, equal to a of I minus 1, then what we have to do, you have to just do the I increment. If b j is greater than 0 and b of j equal to b of j minus 1, in this case just do the increment. That's it. But if suppose the lengths are not equal, obviously if the lengths are not equal, then if one loop ends over here, the other will be empty only. Now whatever is empty, whatever is left, we have to push into your output array. You have to push. So I can say last while whichever is left. So while I is less than 1, suppose if I is left over, I'll do array dot simply pushing at the end, array dot push. If second array is left, array dot push b of j. Okay. So if you talk of the time complexity of this method, first a single iteration is performing. First time n1 iteration is happening, then n2 is iteration is happening. Okay, then I can say the time complexity is a single operation big of n1 plus n2. Space complexity, yes, it is consuming an array of n1 plus n2 space. So big of n1 plus n2 in a linear. So this approach is better than the previous one. So this was a simple question, but a very important theorem, two-pointer theorem. Okay. So this class was union. In the next class, follow-up of this question, we will be covering the intersection of two sorted arrays. Thank you all. If you're still tuned, like this channel, subscribe to this and stay tuned for the next question in JavaScript. Thank you.